All right, we got all our volume working and everything.
I'm kind of scared.
Well, don't be scared. I just wanted to. This is kind of a unique time, obviously, in volleyball, and none of us have ever experienced any of this stuff before. And so, just kind of wanted to touch base with you and make sure, obviously, that you're safe. But also wanted to do a little quick interview if you're up for it, and maybe put it out on Facebook and just let everybody know the kind of kids we have at TAV. Would that work for you?
Yep,
How's your family doing?
we're good. We're just hanging out at home. My mom, she goes to work periodically, and we're just chilling.
It's kind of tough to work when you're a realtor and they shut everything down, isn't it?
Yeah, she's just been going to the office, I guess, like working on whatever. Since I mean, many people probably don't want to buy a house right now, but I don't know. I'm actually watching her pull out of the driveway right now to probably go back to work.
Probably hard to even look at, and it's hard to social distance unless, well, I guess people would leave their house, but I don't know where they go. I guess they just drive around while they were
Yeah.
showing their house. But I certainly wouldn't want somebody going through my house because you don't know if they're
Mm.
well or not well or whatever. So I understand that could be a tough time. So, Em, why don't you just start off and tell all our guests what your name is and if you go by any nicknames and things like that.
Well, I'm Emma. I usually don't go by any nicknames. Some people call me Em. Coach Bill, you actually call me Em.
Yeah.
And really, it's just Emma or Em. We have a lot of E's on our team this year. So there's one E and then there's two Emmas. So it's kind of a cluster of E's and M's. So
Awesome. And for our viewers, what team do you play for?
TAV Houston 18 Black.
What about your school team?
Klein Collins High School.
Awesome. What position or positions have you played throughout your career?
Well, I've always been the tallest. I've always been kind of like that tall, lanky, like one out of the group. So when I first started playing, I was a middle. And I actually liked middle a lot. A lot of people didn't want to play middle. It was too hard or whatever, but I actually enjoyed it. Like blocking somebody was like the best feeling ever. But this year, actually, I switched to playing right side and a little more back row action, which I'm actually like, I kind of like that better. And I still miss the middle position, but we already have two middles on our team, so they kind of needed a right side. So I've taken that position over
What do you
now.
think you'll play in college? What did he recruit you for?
I'm recruited as a middle blocker, but this like recruiting season kind of, and like him, like our coach coming to watch us, um, he kind of likes me on the right side. So I might be playing right side in college. I'm not sure.
Awesome. I'm sure you'll be willing to do whatever your coach asks of you, huh?
Yeah.
So when did you first start playing volleyball?
Oh, that was a rough time. So, like, I was actually a cheerleader before this, so I was doing more like cheer stuff. And then in seventh grade, they were like, "Oh, try volleyball," because I was tall and lanky.
Yeah.
So I was like, "All right." So I tried out, but before that, me and my mom, she used to play a lot of sports in high school, mainly basketball, but she still played volleyball, and she kind of showed me the ropes. And the summer of sixth to seventh grade, so I could eventually try out. So we'd be out in the streets practicing, and she used to be the better one.
So you didn't start playing volleyball till seventh grade?
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. Did you try out for club before you actually went to the seventh grade tryout?
No, they actually like informed us. They were like, "Hey, y'all should go try out at these clubs." Da, da, da. So I was like, okay. So I think I started playing after the seventh grade season, or maybe it was eighth grade.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Were
It
you
was either
able to get
seventh
on
or
a
eighth.
Were you able to get on a team between then, or did you have to wait and try out right before eighth grade? Do you remember?
I think it was eighth grade. I think I did have to try out like the eighth grade season because I still was a cheerleader in seventh grade. Like I did school cheer and volleyball in seventh grade, so I think I did try out in eighth grade.
Wow. So did you have a year where you did cheer and volleyball?
Yeah, the 7th grade year. It was, I mean, it was hectic, but it wasn't that bad because I did competitive cheer before, like in 6th and 5th grade, and then I didn't do it in 7th grade, so it wasn't that bad.
Wow. Because we have a lot of kids that obviously try to balance multiple sports.
Hmm.
And for a lot of people, that's really, really hard.
Yeah,
So,
they tried to get me to do basketball and track, and I was like, volleyball. I gotta go to club practice. No
that
track
girl.
practice on Thursdays. So
Hey,
kind of
so
it.
why did you choose TAV Houston? Because obviously you live up in the, Collins area. There are, you could have gone to probably 3 or 4 different clubs are all about the same
Mhm.
distance. So why did you wind up choosing TAV Houston?
So it's kind of weird. I'm like, I guess like a vibe person. So when I walked into the TAV gym, it was like the facility was like nice and open, and the courts were like, they attracted me. And of course, the way that like Joe and you and everybody, they were all like, oh, like all family and stuff. So it kind of just made me want to go there instead of like other clubs like HJV and Skyline and stuff that's like, I guess, closer to me. So it
Awesome.
just felt better.
Hey, so do you have any advice to younger players that are maybe looking to play at the next level?
Advice would be to keep working, like no matter where you are, like in your process, like keep working, don't ever stop. Like even in this quarantine stuff, don't just sit in bed, like go out and run. Like I just got out of the shower from my workout that lasted like 2 hours. So
Wow.
don't like stop. Like even if it's like sleeping with a volleyball, like stay committed, stay like dedicated, and um don't ever give up, because I was the one who sat the bench in 7th and 8th grade and couldn't serve over the net. Like we had to do these drills where it was like separated into 2 groups, and everybody had to serve over the net, and the first team like that everybody served over the net won. Every time I was on somebody's team, they were all like, oh god. And I was like, so like you have a lot of time to improve, and don't ever give up is all I can say.
That's awesome. So what made you, in your final decision, what made you choose the college that you're going to?
So ULM, University of Louisiana Monroe, go Warhawks. But I really, like I said, I'm a vibe person. I really loved like the Coliseum, the locker room, and everything. Like it was just, it felt like family. And I really loved the coach. We actually had like a switch in the coaches, but turns out I love the other coach too, Coach Charlie. So it was just it just felt right. Like walking into there, it just felt good, and like the teammates and the players were very like welcoming, and they wanted you on their team type of feeling. So I
That's
really like
awesome. Well, you know which way I lean. I don't know if you can see that in the background up there.
it a little bit.
Yeah, that's my baby girl. She played there too. So obviously,
Mhm.
I think you made a great decision. You've already kind of talked about what you're doing to stay active over the break. What would that, for some of those kids that are out there looking for stuff to do, what would those activities that maybe you just did for 2 hours, what would those look like?
So today specifically, I think it was 9:50. I remember like checking the time, and I just went for a run. And I don't really like running with like a tracker on and stuff. That's like, oh, you've run a mile in 9 minutes. I'm like, I kind of just want to work out like by myself, without having to feel like I'm pressured to.
Sure.
So I feel like a lot of people could use that. So I kind of track like where a mile is in my neighborhood, and for me, it's from my house to a dead end and back. So I kind of just ran that, and I like to like explore because there's like the Grand Parkway, like a big highway right here. So I kind of go over there and just explore and run like in nature and stuff like that. And then all I have to work out with right now is like dumbbells and a band. So I just come up with like a lot of exercises with dumbbells and a band, and kind of work out in my garage after I run. And then I grab a volleyball and kind of just mess around because volleyball's fun to me. So I kind of just pass and
Awesome.
stuff.
Well, you've
But there's
talked.
a lot of stuff to do. Find a bench, do step ups, box jumps, stuff like that.
Wow. We've talked about how hard you work, but there's got to be another side. What's your favorite snack food and why?
Ooh. um,
It's okay. You could be honest.
Probably be like sweet stuff. Like in this drawer right here that my phone is propped up on, there's probably candy in there. So I have a sweet tooth, so I love like cakes and chocolate and sweets and like that. So, hey,
Okay,
but I
so open that drawer right there. And tell me what the candy of choice would be in there.
I got some Skittles. There are some Nerds. I don't really have any chocolate stuff in there because I feel like that attracts ants. But
Yeah,
and then there's some Sour Patch Kids in there and Junior Mints. So
awesome. Who would you say is a player that you learned a lot from or looked up to, or maybe somebody that you played with, or that somebody you just watched throughout your career? Who would that player be?
Well, a big player in my life was my mom. So I really looked up to her. Even though she played basketball, she's so athletic. Like, she can still hit the ball. She almost hit me in the face the other day. I don't know if you saw that video on my story, but she's crazy. Um, I look up to a lot of beach players because I actually enjoy beach volleyball. Like, beach volleyball is a different side of volleyball for me. It's more fun, loose, but it's harder. So it's like, it's weird. I don't know. It's like hard, but it's easy. So I look up to a lot of those players, and some of the players on my team, actually, I watch the way they hit and like they're vertical, and I'm like, I wish. So shout out to all the girls on my team on
Awesome.
18 Black because they're awesome. So
That's great. Hey, do you think you'll be playing any beach at Louisiana Monroe?
yeah, I really want to, and I'm allowed to, I think. So I'm gonna try that out and go to volleyball season and go to beach season. So we'll see
It'll
what's more
definitely
fun,
improve your
beach
vertical.
season or off season.
Yeah, it'll definitely improve your vertical.
Mhm.
Who over your career, obviously you've been playing for 7, 8 years. Who was your favorite coach over that time?
Okay, well, my high school coach, Coach McMean, she
Yeah,
was like another mother to me, so I really liked her.
that's awesome.
And I really like Coach Brandon. He was very technical, and he like taught a lot of stuff about middle and made everything be so specific. Like, it wasn't just left, right, left. It was where your foot was, which angle it was faced, like how do you run the side. So that like imprinted a lot of knowledge in volleyball in my brain. And the current coach that I have, she's like me. Like, she's so chill, and like she's just a good person to be around, and she knows a lot about volleyball, and of course she's like a DS, so she's not going to be telling me, oh, angle your feet this way, but she teaches me how to play back row, which is a new position I'm like taking on, so that really helps. And to be honest, I've never had any like bad experience with a coach. I don't know. Maybe they like me, or like I'm not a bad kid or anything, but they've all
Maybe you're
been pretty
just
good.
coachable.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, I guess to wrap it up, do you have a favorite quote or any other words of wisdom? I'll just give you the last minute or so. Do you just any favorite quote or any words of wisdom that you want to share with the whole world?
The whole world, I feel famous. My biggest inspiration is like where I came from, like sitting on the bench and watching like my friends who were better than me, and then kind of we went into high school, and then I was like at the same level as them. So that's like my biggest inspiration, and I already kind of like said all that, but just like never give up. Like, I used to cry on the court. Like, I could not serve over the net in 7th grade. Like, it was horrible. And just never give up, because now all I do is like serve the ball out. So now I have an arm. So that's kind of just what I would say to everybody is never give up, keep pushing, and work. Work, work, work. Like, don't ever think that you can't improve in your skill.
It probably boils great volleyball players down in a nutshell. Never give up and work hard. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. Well, Em, I want to thank you for your time, and
Thank
hope you
you.
stay safe during this crazy time. And
You too.
God bless you and your family. Thanks. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.